Hello students, now we will start with new topic, that is organisms and population. In this chapter majorly we will read many of the terms like ecology, ecosystem, biomes, populations and how they are interacting, what is the interrelationship between different types of organisms. So first, if we see here organisms, mostly organisms, whenever we hear this word, we used to get the term like living organisms into our mind. Living organisms. Living organisms always exist only when having interaction with that of surroundings. So here living organisms have always interaction with surroundings. What are surroundings? The climate, the habitat, the place that we are living, all this comes under surrounding environment and the plants that are surviving also. So the interrelationship between living organisms and non-living organisms present in the surrounding environment is called as ecology. The surrounding environment has other living organisms plus non-living substances like example rocks, soil, etc., sunlight, etc. So living organisms always have interaction with that of surrounding environment, which is having other living organisms like other plants and animals, and also non-living substances like rocks, sunlight, soil, water, etc. So the interrelationship between living and non-living organisms is called as ecology. Here we can take example of ecology as humans plus their surrounding environment. Who is father of ecology? Father of ecology is Eugene Odom. He is considered as father of ecology. Next, another term is there, ecosystem. When these living organisms and non-living organisms present in an area, means in a geographical area, then the living organisms plus non-living or non-living substances like water, sunlight plus air, this constitute in a small geographical area. So this constitute the term ecosystem. Then what is the difference between ecology and ecosystem? Ecology, we are reading the relationship between the living and non-living organisms. But what is meant by ecosystem? Ecosystem is nothing but just the living organisms along with the non-living substances like water, sunlight, air, and that small geographical area. All here we are not mentioning the interrelationship between all this, but already internally the interrelationship will be existed, but specifically interrelationship between the living and non-living substances is read with the term ecology, but just the living and non-living substances all together Here we are not specially mentioning about interrelationship. Just those living and non-living organisms are together called as ecosystem. Now, here I have used a term that is in a small geographical area. When that geographical area is very much big, and when many ecosystems or one large big ecosystem is present in one area, then along with the habitat that the organisms that they are living, means type of habitat, type of adaptations exhibited by the living organisms, all together constitute with another term that is called as biome. Under ecosystem, we can take examples like pond ecosystem, next forest ecosystem, etc. Terrestrial ecosystem, etc. Now, father of ecosystem in India means who is the father of Indian ecosystem, we can see who gave that term is Ramdeo Misra. He is considered as father of ecosystem in India. Next, who is considered as generally father of ecosystem in all over the world? The answer will be again Eugene Odum. Father of ecosystem, Eugene Odum. Next, the term ecosystem, it is given by Arthur Tansley. Term ecosystem is given by Arthur Tansley. Next, here we have to remember one more point that I have used in a small geographical area, and ecosystems are of different types. Especially we are mentioning here one example like pond ecosystem and forest ecosystem. But when an ecosystem is occupied by large geographical areas with different animal and plant habitats, then we use a term like biome. When ecosystem includes large geographical area with living organism adaptations plus habitat of living organism that share similar climate then such community is called as biome. Just we will recall, in case of ecology, we are considering about the interrelationship between living and non-living organisms. In case of ecosystem, just we are seeing the total number of organisms, what are their surroundings containing. In case of biomes, we are also considering the changes that are happening in the living organisms along with the special place or the permanent residence of the living organisms with the term that is habitat of the living organisms in that particular area. For suppose, during rainy season in India, we have so and so temperature. When rain is falling in some other country with the same type of precipitation, then also there at that timing, the temperature will be same. If the rains are having intensity, means more rains are there just like floods, etc., then the climate will be having minor change. But until then, when normal rains are falling in India or America or South Africa, etc., in that particular precipitation content, then the temperatures are similar only, the climates are similar only. During summer season, here in India, we have high temperatures. In any other country, during summer season, the temperature is high only, except in polar regions. So, we have used here, when organisms are living in one particular habitat, then they share similar climates in one particular season. Unless that, the climate changes according to the seasonal variations, and so the temperature also changes. Here, similar climate means, please don't get confused, it is basing on the comparisons of different regions, different geographical areas. We will see some of the points regarding biome. So, biome has many ecosystems. Biome can have many ecosystems because ecosystem is the one which is having small geographical area with some number of living organisms and non-living organisms. Already we said that if an ecosystem is constituted of large geographical area, then obviously there will be many variations in the organisms and there will be many variations in the climates also. Climatic conditions. So, biome can also be of one large ecosystem. Large ecosystem in the sense means of one large geographical area. Next, in case of biome, living organisms, they vary according to the climatic changes, and also they have interaction with that of surrounding environment. Living organisms vary in phenotypes and genotypes basing on climatic changes and temperature changes. And in case of biome, the living organisms have rare interaction with that of surrounding environment. Sometimes the interaction may be absent also. Here, the organisms have rare interaction between biomes, and sometimes interaction may be absent also. How can we justify this? I used a term here, organisms in biomes, not within one biome. Organisms within biomes means few biomes. For suppose you take polar regions, their organisms means if you take animals, they are having more surface area, means they are larger in size comparing to that of tropical region organisms. You take polar bear, which is having more large body size comparing to that of normal bears. Those have less interaction with that of bears that are living in tropical regions. So that we said here, these organisms which are living in different biomes are having a rare interaction. If polar bears are brought to tropical regions and made to survive here, it will be very much difficult for the polar bear to survive in the tropical regions because its body was habituated to one type of climatic conditions. Sometimes this can be absent also when the organism is unable to survive in other different biome. So we can also write composition of a biome as flora means all the plants, that are living in an biome plus fauna, animals that are living in an biome plus the permanent residence of those plants and animals, nothing but the habitat of the living organisms. So I'm writing here the habitat plus the climate in that particular biome plus what are the different types of plants and animals that we use with the term called as biodiversity. Not only the existence of plants and animals, but also the differences between all these organisms within the flora, within the fauna, among both flora and fauna, etc. Plus human activities. Because of human activities, means we can take one example like pollution. Because of human activity, one of example is pollution, many changes are happening in the climatic conditions or the temperatures. When pollution is more, then obviously temperature also will be more. Then there will be drastic changes in the climates. Biomes have dissimilar weathers, dissimilar rainfalls, dissimilar animals, and dissimilar plants. But have similar climatic conditions, similar habitats. Then what is difference between similar climates and dissimilar weathers here? Here we are talking about similar climates in the sense, if you take different regions, you take India, one country, some other country, during the rainfall season, the climates are same, the temperatures are same, but different weathers in the sense, if we compare within India, the deserts are there, the tropical regions are there, temperate regions are there, polar regions are there. So there the weathers are different throughout the year. If you take deserts, temperature is very high throughout the year. So we are telling biomes have dissimilar or different weathers, means within the biomes in one particular area. But here we are changing the locations, geographical areas and geographical regions also. Then we are telling the climates are similar during one season. That is, during rainy season, climates are same only. So habitats and similar animals and plant adaptations, in the sense, when organisms are unable to tolerate one particular temperature, then animals at any particular region, they try to adapt to the changing environment. Plus similar biodiversity plus similar human activities. This is very important to understand. Now, we can also tell our intestine is also one of the biome which is having the same temperature. Our body maintains the temperature constantly without regarding that of changing environments. The environment is cold or something, but our body maintains only one single type of climatic conditions or temperatures. So human intestine can also or can be a good example of biome. The biggest biome is marine biome, means the oceans which are having salt water. Their salinity is common in all types of oceans. Basing on the salinity only, we differentiate the aquatic organisms into marine organisms or marine fishes and freshwater fishes or freshwater aquatic organisms. Next, major 6 biomes are: one is deserts, Second one, Arctic and Antarctic tundras. So Arctic region is in the North Pole. Antarctic regions are in the South Pole. Next. So here the biome is nothing but in the Alpine Tundras, means at the topmost areas of the Arctic and Antarctic regions. You will see one by one the words. Third one is Grasslands. Fourth biome is Coniferous Forests. Fifth one is Temperate Regions or Temperate Forests we can write. Sixth one, Tropical Forests. Now we will learn about the graph or the diagrammatic representation that is given explaining what is the mean annual precipitations basing on the temperatures. Here, what is meant by precipitation? Precipitation, it can be rainfall or snow or sleet. So we will see precipitation. See, on Earth, means in the ecosystem, there is water cycle. In the sense, water, when temperatures are high, it is moving to upper, means towards the cloud direction or towards the higher altitudes in the form of water vapor. And they will be forming into clouds. When clouds are condensed, again, the same water vapor which is existed in the cloud form, it again comes back onto the earth in the form of water droplets. That we call as rain. This is also called as precipitation. So, in water cycle on Earth, the condensed form of water vapor in clouds falls back on the Earth in form of rain or snow. That only we are calling as precipitation. We will measure the width, everything, the water droplet in the form of centimeters. Now, what is meant by mean? In the sense, the total sum of rainfall in an year. So, that year we are using it in a terms called as annually or annual. So, we can write meaning of mean as sum total of all the data, means sum total of all the rainfalls in a particular season. Mean means sum total of all data. Here we are reading about the rainfall, how much rainfall we have seen in one particular season. If we want to do in mathematical expressions, then we use some of the terms like mean annual precipitations in centimeters. That I have given on one axis, that is x-axis we can suppose think. On the y-axis, I have taken the changing temperatures in the biome or in the ecosystem or in one geographical area. Here, we already have seen there are major 6 biomes. So, we can see names of those biomes as first one, desert, which is having higher temperatures and having less precipitation, means less rainfall. Second one, Arctic and Alpine tundras. What are alpines? Alpines are the higher levels or the higher altitudes of the regions. For suppose if you take ocean, when we go to the upper part of the ocean, above the ocean levels, we can call it as the upper alpine regions. Or if you take hill also, the topmost peak area of the hill or mountain can also be said as alpine regions of the hills. In the same way, Himalayas, if we consider, the upper areas of the Himalayas are the tipmost area of the Himalayan hills can be used with a term like alpine regions. And even the same term is applicable for alpine regions when there is no plantation. So here we can use a term like tundras. Tundras are the regions where there is treeless treeless habitats exist. So we will see major 6 biomes. First one is desert. Here temperatures are very high and rainfall is very much less. We can see it is less than 50, means mean annual precipitation is less than 50. Temperature is high and rainfalls are of 20 to 25 centimeters only, but still can be less than this, means centimeters of precipitation. Second one, we can take grasslands. So yes, we can take grasslands. In case of grasslands, rainfall is of 50 to 80 centimeters and the existence of high or the large plantation is very less, but there will be plantation, but the higher or the larger tree number is less in grasslands. So here trees are less, grasses are more, or the small plants also will be more in number. Next, here rainfall is 50 to 80 centimeters of precipitation. Here it can be 20 to 25 centimeters or less than 20 centimeters in desert regions. Third one is Arctic and Alpine regions. So Arctic region is in the North Pole. We can also use a term like Arctic and Antarctic. If you see like this, then only the concept will be easy for you to understand. This is of in South Pole. Then what are Alpine Tundras? Alpine Tundras are the peaks or top regions of hills or mountains. Especially the tundras or the alpine regions are treeless regions. These are treeless regions. Then when do we use the term specially alpine? When we are talking about the uppermost, tipmost regions of the hills or mountains, then we use a term like alpine regions. Tundras are applicable for both this one, Arctic and Antarctic. So since both are giving us the same meaning, we are telling alpine tundras of Arctic region, alpine tundras of Antarctic regions. Here the rainfall is 15 to 25 centimeters in Arctic and Antarctic regions, 15 to 25 centimeters in the polar regions. Mostly here the area is covered by snow. So next, fourth one is coniferous forests. Out of 6 biomes, the fourth one is coniferous forests. In case of coniferous forests, the rainfall is considered to be 300 to 900 centimeters of precipitation. Coniferous are also called evergreen forests. Here rainfall is 300 to 900 centimeters. Next, here trees are conical or cone in shape. Next, in case of coniferous forest, the leaves are very reduced or thin needle-like. Leaves are reduced. Next. Next one, fifth is temperate regions or temperate forests. Temperate forests exhibit the climatic changes like autumn, spring, winter, rainfall, etc. These temperate regions are just near to the polar regions, but not habituating the same climatic conditions. Here, the leaves are larger. Temperate forest in the sense there the temperature is moderate. It is not that too much high or too much low. Rainfall in temperate regions is 200 centimeters. This is approximate value, 200 centimeters. So next, sixth one, tropical regions. Tropical regions or tropical forests we can say. Here rainfall is 200 to 400 centimeters. Here the leaves are not that much broad comparing to that of temperate region leaf or plantation. There is another important thing regarding this rainfall or precipitation, that is in case of deciduous forests. Deciduous forests, these are having very much broad leaves comparing to that of temperate regions, and there the precipitation is nearly 700 centimeters. So what is difference between this deciduous and coniferous? Deciduous means their leaves shed off from the plant seasonally at a time. So if you see what is meant by deciduous forests, all leaves of plants shed off at a particular season. Now here rainfall is 700 centimeters. Deciduous forests have very broad leaves. So this is about the precipitation levels of different biomes and the temperatures that these biomes are habituating. And the geographical regions are also expressed with different temperatures in different biomes. So this is about the diagrammatic representation given in 220 page number of second year NCERT.